Pakistan. Just hearing that name might conjure up images you've seen in the news, but I'm here to tell you that what you're about to discover will shatter every preconception and reveal a country of staggering beauty, profound history, and cultural richness that rivals anywhere on Earth. Nestled in South Asia, sharing borders with India, Afghanistan, Iran, and China, Pakistan is a crossroads of civilizations, a place where the Indus Valley civilization once flourished over 5,000 years ago, where Alexander the Great marched his armies, and where the legendary Silk Road brought traders from east and west. Today we're going to explore 6 incredible Pakistani cities: Islamabad, the serene capital city; Karachi, the bustling economic powerhouse; Peshawar, the ancient gateway to Central Asia; Lahore, the cultural heart beating with poetry and passion; Skardu, the doorway to some of Earth's highest peaks; and Gilgit, the jewel of the Northern Territories. Each destination offers something utterly unique, yet together they weave a tapestry that tells the story of a nation determined to showcase its treasures to the world. But here's my question for you. When was the last time you stepped completely outside your comfort zone and discovered a place that changed your perspective on the entire world? Drop your answer in the comments below. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an adventure. Islamabad. Islamabad sits at the northern edge of the Pothawar Plateau, at the foot of the magnificent Mughal Hills, which are part of the Lesser Himalayas. Located in the Islamabad Capital Territory, this city lies approximately 9 miles northeast of its twin city, Rawalpindi, and about 120 miles from the historic city of Lahore. The elevation here ranges from about 1,640 to 2,000 feet above sea level, giving the city a moderate climate that's absolutely delightful compared to the scorching plains of central Pakistan. The Mughal Hills National Park forms the city's northern boundary, offering over 17,000 acres of protected forest, hiking trails, and wildlife habitat. These hills aren't just pretty, they're a natural barrier that protects the city from the harsh northern winds while providing countless recreational opportunities. The natural springs, including the famous Shatter Valley and the scenic Rawal Lake, add to the city's environmental appeal. Speaking of Rawal Lake, this artificial reservoir covers about 3.5 square miles and serves as both a water source and a popular spot for boating, fishing, and picnicking. Here's something fascinating. Islamabad is one of the world's youngest capital cities, and its creation tells a remarkable story of national ambition and planning. Before 1960, Pakistan's capital was Karachi, the port city in the south. But the Pakistani government realized they needed a capital that was more centrally located, more secure from naval attacks, and could represent a fresh start for the nation. In 1960, President Ayub Khan commissioned a Greek architect named Konstantinos Apostolou Doxiadis to design the new capital. Doxiadis created a masterplan based on a grid system with distinct sectors, each designated for specific purposes: residential, commercial, diplomatic, and governmental. The city was officially designated as the capital in 1967, though construction continued for decades afterward. The name Islamabad itself is deeply meaningful. Islam refers to the country's predominant religion, while Abad is a Persian suffix meaning cultivated place or city. So essentially it means city of Islam or abode of Islam, reflecting Pakistan's identity as an Islamic republic founded in 1947 as a homeland for Muslims from the Indian subcontinent. Islamabad's culture is unique in Pakistan because it's genuinely cosmopolitan. As the diplomatic capital, you'll find embassies from virtually every nation, international organizations, and expatriate communities from around the world. This creates a fascinating cultural blend that you won't find in Pakistan's older, more traditional cities. The city hosts numerous cultural institutions, including the Pakistan National Council of Arts, which promotes traditional and contemporary Pakistani art, music, and theatre. The Lok Virsa Museum is an absolute treasure, showcasing Pakistan's diverse cultural heritage through traditional crafts, textiles, and artifacts from all provinces. If you want to understand the soul of Pakistan's various ethnic groups, Punjabis, Sindhis, Pashtuns, Balok, and others, this museum is essential. What strikes most visitors is how green and clean Islamabad is compared to other South Asian capitals. There are strict building codes, tree planting requirements, and environmental regulations. You'll notice that even the shopping areas like the famous Jinnah supermarket or the upscale Blue area maintain a sense of order and cleanliness. The city has a literacy rate of over 98%, one of the highest in Pakistan, and education is taken extremely seriously here. Islamabad's economy is primarily driven by government services, as you might expect for a capital city. The federal government is the largest employer, with hundreds of ministries, departments, and agencies headquartered here. However, the city has successfully diversified beyond just government work. The technology sector has been booming in Islamabad over the past decade. The city has become Pakistan's hub for IT companies, startups, and telecommunications firms. Software houses have proliferated, and many young Pakistanis are earning international incomes through freelancing in web development, graphic design, and digital marketing. Areas like I-9 and F7 have transformed into tech corridors, with modern office buildings housing innovative companies. Tourism also contributes significantly to the local economy. The Faisal Mosque, one of the largest mosques in the world with a capacity of 300,000 worshippers, attracts visitors from across the globe with its stunning modernist design that resembles a Bedouin tent. The nearby Daman Eco viewpoint in the Margala Hills offers breathtaking panoramic views of the entire city. It's especially magical at sunset when the city lights begin to twinkle below. Islamabad represents Pakistan's vision of itself, modern, organized, forward-thinking, yet deeply rooted in Islamic values and Pakistani identity. It's a city where you can hike in pristine hills in the morning, conduct business in world-class facilities in the afternoon, and enjoy international cuisine in the evening. The careful urban planning means you're never far from green spaces. The security situation is generally stable, and the infrastructure is leagues ahead of most South Asian cities. For first-time visitors to Pakistan, Islamabad offers a gentle introduction, a place where the country's potential shines brightest. Whether you're standing beneath the towering white marble of Faisal Mosque, sipping chai at a cafe in F6, or watching the sunset paint the Margala Hills gold, you'll understand why Islamabad has become a symbol of Pakistan's aspirations for the future. Karachi. Karachi sprawls along the Arabian Sea coast in southern Pakistan, in the province of Sindh. This coastal position has defined the city's character and importance for centuries. The city covers approximately 1,460 square miles, making it larger than Los Angeles or London, and it sits on a natural harbor that has been used for trade since ancient times. The climate here is dramatically different from northern Pakistan. Karachi experiences hot, humid summers with temperatures often exceeding 104 degrees F, while winters are mild and pleasant, rarely dropping below 50 degrees F. The monsoon season brings occasional heavy rainfall between July and August, sometimes causing flooding in low-lying areas. But what makes Karachi's geography truly special is its coastline. Over 90 miles of beaches, including the famous Clifton Beach and the more pristine Hawke's Bay and Sandspit beaches. The Indus River Delta, one of the world's largest river deltas, lies just east of Karachi, creating mangrove forests that serve as crucial breeding grounds for fish and crustaceans. These mangroves also protect the coastline from erosion and storm surges. The city's topography is relatively flat with some rocky outcrops, and it's built around two main harbor areas, the old Karachi port and the newer Port Qasim. Karachi's history reads like an adventure novel. The area has been inhabited for millennia, but the modern city's story really begins in the 18th century when it was a small fishing village called Karachi, named after a local woman, my Karachi, according to legend. In 1729, a group of Baloch tribes built a fort here, recognizing the strategic importance of the natural harbor. The real transformation came when the British East India Company captured Karachi in 1839. They saw immediately what the local tribes had known. This harbor was perfect for trade. The British developed Karachi into a major port city, connecting it by railway to the rest of the Indian subcontinent. They built the Karachi Port Trust in 1886, established infrastructure, and laid out neighborhoods that still exist today, like Sadar, short for Sadar Bazaar, the main cantonment market. When Pakistan gained independence in 1947, Karachi became the nation's first capital. The city experienced an unprecedented wave of migration as millions of Muslims from India, called Muhajirs, fled communal violence and sought refuge in the new Islamic nation. This migration transformed Karachi from a city of about 400,000 to over 1 million almost overnight. These Muhajirs brought with them skills, education, and entrepreneurial spirit that would shape Karachi's commercial culture for generations. What makes Karachi absolutely fascinating is that it's Pakistan's most ethnically diverse city. Walk down any major street, and you'll hear Urdu, Sindhi, Punjabi, Pashto, Balochi, Gujarati, Memon, and English all within minutes. This diversity has created a unique Karachi culture that's more cosmopolitan and tolerant than anywhere else in Pakistan. The food scene in Karachi deserves its own documentary. From the legendary Burns Road food street, where you can feast on biryani, nehari, a slow-cooked meat stew, and rabri, a sweet condensed milk dessert, to upscale restaurants in Clifton and Defence housing authority serving international cuisine. Karachi is a food lover's paradise. The city is particularly famous for its street food. Try the bun kebabs, Karachi-style biryani, which uses potatoes along with meat, and the incredible seafood caught fresh from the Arabian Sea. Manufacturing is huge here. The city has industrial estates and export processing zones where textiles, garments, leather goods, pharmaceuticals, and automobiles are produced. Pakistan's fashion industry is largely based in Karachi, with textile mills and design houses creating clothing that's exported globally. The city is also Pakistan's banking and finance center, with headquarters of most major banks located along II Chandriga Road, nicknamed Pakistan's Wall Street. Real estate is another massive sector. Areas like Defense Housing Authority, DHA, Clifton, and the new Abaria town are home to luxury residences. Shopping malls like Dolman Mall and Lucky One Mall, one of the world's largest and modern office towers. Property prices in prime areas rival those of major global cities. It would be dishonest not to mention that Karachi faces significant challenges. Traffic congestion is legendary. The commute that should take 20 minutes can easily stretch to 2 hours. Infrastructure struggles to keep pace with the city's rapid growth. Political tensions between ethnic groups have occasionally erupted into violence, though the situation has improved dramatically in recent years. Karachi is not for the faint of heart. It's loud, crowded, sometimes chaotic, and definitely overwhelming. But it's also exhilarating, opportunity-rich, culturally diverse, and utterly alive. This is where Pakistan's economic future is being written, where young entrepreneurs launch startups, where artists push boundaries, and where millions of ordinary people work extraordinary hours to provide for their families. Karachi isn't just a city, it's a phenomenon, and experiencing it will change how you see urban life forever. Peshawar. Peshawar is located in the northwestern corner of Pakistan, serving as the capital of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. The city sits in a fertile valley at an elevation of about 1,160 feet above sea level, surrounded by mountain ranges that form natural boundaries with Afghanistan, which lies only about 30 miles to the west. The city's most famous geographical feature is its proximity to the Khyber Pass, one of the most important mountain passes in history, connecting the Indian subcontinent with Afghanistan and Central Asia. For thousands of years, armies, traders, pilgrims, and migrants have traveled through this pass, and Peshawar has always been the last major city before entering the pass or the first upon exiting it. The climate here is dramatically different from coastal Karachi. Peshawar experiences a semi-arid climate with hot summers where temperatures can soar above 110 degrees F, while winters are cool and sometimes foggy, with temperatures occasionally dipping near freezing. The spring months of March and April are absolutely beautiful when the city lives up to its nickname, with flowers blooming throughout the valley. Archaeological evidence suggests the area has been inhabited for over 2,500 years. The city was originally known as Peshawar, founded by the Kushan king Kanishka the Great in the 2nd century CE. During this period, Peshawar was a major center of Buddhist learning and culture, home to monasteries and stupas, including the now-ruined Kanishka Stupa, which was once one of the tallest buildings in the ancient world. The arrival of Islam in the 7th and 8th centuries gradually transformed Peshawar into a Muslim-majority city. The Ghaznavids, Ghurids, and Delhi Sultanate all controlled Peshawar at various times. In 1526, Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire, wrote about the beauty of Peshawar in his memoirs. The Mughals developed the city further, building gardens, mosques, and fortifications. The 18th and 19th centuries were tumultuous. The Afghan Durrani Empire controlled Peshawar, then the Sikhs under Ranjit Singh conquered it in 1834. Finally, the British took control in 1849, making Peshawar a crucial frontier city of the British Indian Empire. The British built the famous Peshawar cantonment, laid out roads, and strengthened the city as their military base for operations in Afghanistan and tribal areas. After Pakistan's independence in 1947, Peshawar became part of the new nation and has since served as the provincial capital. The Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in 1979 and the subsequent decades of conflict brought millions of Afghan refugees to Peshawar, adding another layer to the city's already complex cultural fabric. The old city of Peshawar is a labyrinth of narrow streets, bazaars, and historical buildings. Kissa Khwani Bazaar, literally market of storytellers, was traditionally where travelers and traders would rest and share tales of their journeys. Today, it's still a bustling market selling everything from traditional Pashtun caps, pakols, to electronics, spices, and copper goods. The Peshawar Museum houses one of the finest collections of Gandhara art in the world. Gandhara was an ancient kingdom in this region, and its art represents a unique fusion of Greco-Roman, Persian, and Indian styles, particularly in Buddhist sculpture. The museum's collection includes stunning statues of Buddha, bodhisattvas, and scenes from Buddhist texts, showing clear Hellenistic influence in facial features and drapery. Historically, Peshawar's economy has always been tied to trade. As the gateway between Central Asia and the Indian subcontinent, the city has been a trading hub for centuries. Even today, Peshawar's economy is significantly influenced by cross-border trade with Afghanistan. Manufacturing has grown in recent decades, with industries producing textiles, tobacco products, furniture, and marble. The industrial estates on the outskirts of Peshawar house factories that employ thousands. Marble and gemstones from the surrounding regions are processed and traded in Peshawar, with the city serving as a major center for the gemstone trade. However, Peshawar's economy has faced challenges due to security concerns over the past decades. The proximity to conflict zones in Afghanistan and tribal areas has sometimes deterred investment and tourism. Despite this, the city has shown remarkable resilience, and recent improvements in security have led to renewed economic activity and investment. Peshawar is where history comes alive. This isn't a city that's turned its past into museum exhibits. The past walks the streets, speaks in ancient traditions, and flavors the food. From its position as a Buddhist center to its role as an Islamic frontier city, from the empires that fought over it to the traders who prospered in it, Peshawar has accumulated layers of history that make it endlessly fascinating. Lahore. Lahore is located in northeastern Pakistan, in the heart of Punjab province, of which it serves as the capital. The city sits on the alluvial plain of the Ravi River, one of the 5 rivers that give Punjab meaning, 5 rivers, its name. Historically, the Ravi flowed directly through Lahore, but the river's course has shifted slightly, and it now runs along the city's northern edge. The geography here is flat, fertile, and incredibly agriculturally productive. The elevation is only about 700 feet above sea level, and the rich soil has supported farming for millennia. This agricultural abundance has always meant that Lahore had the resources to support art, culture, and learning. Populations here didn't have to worry as much about mere survival. Lahore experiences extreme weather. Summers are brutally hot, with temperatures regularly exceeding 104 degrees F and occasionally touching 120 degrees F. The monsoon season brings relief in July and August with heavy rainfall. Winters are mild to cool, with foggy mornings and temperatures ranging from 40 degrees F to 70 degrees F, the absolute best time to visit. The city has historically been famous for its gardens, earning it the nickname City of Gardens. The Mughal emperors who ruled from Lahore were passionate about garden design, creating numerous formal gardens with water features, pavilions, and carefully planned plantings. Many of these gardens still exist, including the famous Shalimar Gardens, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Lahore's history stretches back into legend. Some traditions claim the city was founded by Prince Lo or Lava, son of the Hindu deity Rama, though there's no historical evidence for this. What we do know is that Lahore was mentioned by the Greek geographer Ptolemy in his work from the 2nd century CE. So the city is at least 2,000 years old and likely much older. The city's golden age began with the arrival of the Ghaznavid dynasty in the 11th century. Mahmud of Ghazni made Lahore his second capital, and the city flourished as an Islamic cultural center. The Delhi Sultanate controlled Lahore in the 13th–15th centuries, building mosques and fortifications. But the true transformation of Lahore came under the Mughal Empire, 1524–1857. Emperor Akbar made Lahore his capital for 14 years, and he, along with his successors Jahangir and Shah Jahan, transformed Lahore into one of the most beautiful cities in the world. They built the massive Lahore Fort, Shahi Qila, enlarged the Badshahi Mosque to hold 100,000 worshippers, created the stunning Shalimar Gardens, and constructed countless other monuments that still define Lahore's identity. Lahore played a crucial role in Pakistan's independence movement. The famous Lahore Resolution of 1940, which called for separate Muslim states in the Indian subcontinent, was adopted here. After partition in 1947, Lahore became part of Pakistan, losing some historic monuments and much of its Hindu and Sikh population as millions were displaced during the violent partition riots. Lahore is also famous for its Basant Festival, a spring celebration of kite flying that used to be one of the world's most spectacular festivals, though it's been officially banned in recent years due to safety concerns. The city celebrates Eid festivals with particular enthusiasm, and weddings in Lahore are legendary multi-day affairs with Mendi, Barat, and Walima ceremonies that showcase Lahori hospitality at its finest. Lahore is Pakistan's second-largest economic center after Karachi, contributing about 11–13% to the national GDP despite having about 5–6% of the population. The diversity of Lahore's economy makes it remarkably resilient. Manufacturing is huge. Lahore has industrial estates producing textiles, garments, leather goods, surgical instruments, sports equipment, particularly cricket equipment, electrical appliances, and food products. The city's surrounding agricultural hinterland means food processing is a major industry. Rice mills, sugar mills, and dairy processing plants operate throughout the region. The IT sector has exploded in Lahore over the past 15 years. The city has become Pakistan's second IT hub after Islamabad, with software houses, tech startups, and freelancers earning substantial foreign exchange. Areas like Gulberg and Defence have transformed into commercial hubs with modern office towers. Tourism also contributes significantly. The walled city of Lahore attracts both domestic and international tourists who come to see the Lahore Fort, Badshahi Mosque, Wazir Khan Mosque, with its stunning tile work, and the Lahore Museum. The city has invested in restoring historical buildings and developing tourism infrastructure. Lahore is Pakistan's beating cultural heart. While Islamabad represents Pakistan's ambitions and Karachi its economic muscle, Lahore represents its soul. This is where Pakistani identity, with all its complexity, contradictions, and beauty, is most fully expressed. The city honors its past while embracing modernity, creating a unique blend where you can visit a 17th-century mosque in the morning, attend a contemporary art exhibition in the afternoon, and watch a rock concert in the evening. The food will spoil you for life, the hospitality will warm your heart, and the sheer energy of cultural production, poetry, music, art, theater will leave you in awe. Lahore isn't just a city you visit, it's a city that gets under your skin and stays there. Skardu. Skardu is located in the Gilgit-Baltistan region in the extreme northeast of Pakistan, sitting at an elevation of approximately 7,320 feet above sea level in a valley along the Indus River. But what makes Skardu's geography truly mind-blowing is what surrounds it. The Karakoram mountain range, home to 4 of the world's 14 peaks over 26,000 feet, including K2, the world's second highest mountain at 28,251 feet. The town sits in a high-altitude desert, receiving minimal precipitation, which creates a stark, rugged landscape of brown mountains contrasting with the bright blue of rivers and lakes. The climate here is extreme. Winters are brutally cold with temperatures plunging well below zero and heavy snowfall that can isolate the region for months. The Skardu Valley transforms into a snow-covered wonderland where only the hardiest survive. Summers are short but pleasant, with daytime temperatures reaching 68–77 degrees F, though nights remain cool. The region's topography includes massive sand dunes at Katpana, some reaching heights of hundreds of feet, which seem bizarrely out of place amid the mountains. These are called the cold desert, and watching the sun set over sand dunes with snow-capped peaks in the background is an experience that defies logical geography. Skardu's history is intimately connected with the ancient Silk Road trade routes that crossed through these mountains, linking China with Central Asia and the Indian subcontinent. For centuries, merchants, Buddhist pilgrims and adventurers traveled these treacherous paths, and Skardu served as a rest stop and trading post. The region was historically part of the Tibetan cultural sphere, and you can see this influence in the local architecture, especially in older structures like the Skardu Fort, also called Karakoram Fort, which dates back 800 years and sits dramatically atop a rock overlooking the town. This fort was built by the local Raja and served as a defensive stronghold against invasions. In more recent history, the area was part of the princely state of Baltistan during British rule. After Pakistan's independence in 1947, there was a conflict over whether Baltistan would join Pakistan or India. The region ultimately became part of Pakistan, though not without considerable fighting. The northern areas, as they were then called, remained somewhat autonomous until they were renamed Gilgit-Baltistan in 2009 and given a degree of self-governance. Skardu remained relatively unknown to the outside world until mountaineers began seriously attempting to climb K2 and the other Karakoram giants in the mid-20th century. The first successful ascent of K2 in 1954 by an Italian expedition put Skardu on the map as the gateway for such expeditions. Since then, the town has hosted thousands of climbers, trekkers, and adventure tourism professionals. The people of Skardu are predominantly Balti, an ethnic group related to Tibetans, speaking Balti, a Tibetan dialect, though most also speak Urdu. The culture here is distinct from the rest of Pakistan, showing strong Tibetan Buddhist influences even though the population converted to Islam several centuries ago. The architecture reflects these influences. Traditional houses are built from stone and wood with flat roofs, designed to withstand harsh winters. Many older homes have intricately carved wooden balconies and windows similar to Tibetan designs. The Karakoram Fort shows this architectural style on a grand scale. Despite the harsh environment, there's a strong sense of community pride. The people of Skardu are proud of their unique heritage and their region's natural wonders. They've also developed a sophisticated understanding of mountain tourism, with many locals working as porters, guides, and expedition support staff. Mountaineering expeditions bring substantial money. Each attempt on K2 or the other 8,000-meter peaks requires permits, porters, guides, supplies, and logistics, and most of this spending happens in Skardu. During the climbing season, June to August, Skardu buzzes with international expeditions preparing for their attempts. The fees and economic activity generated by just a few dozen serious expeditions per year are substantial. But it's not just extreme mountaineering. Skardu has become a destination for adventure tourism more broadly. Trekking expeditions, particularly to locations like Diosai National Park, one of the highest plateaus in the world, called the Land of Giants and home to Himalayan brown bears, attract thousands of tourists annually. The Baltoro Glacier Trek, which passes near K2, Broad Peak, and the Gasherbrum Peaks, is considered one of the world's most spectacular treks. Skardu is not a destination for the casual tourist looking for comfort and convenience. This is a place for those who want to witness nature at its most powerful and humbling. The mountains here are not just tall, they're sacred to climbers, having claimed countless lives while granting a select few the privilege of standing on their summits. The landscape is harsh but breathtakingly beautiful, the cold desert contrasting with green valleys and impossibly blue waters. The culture is unique, a blend of Tibetan heritage and Islamic faith, adapted to one of the world's most challenging environments. If you come to Skardu, come with proper preparation, respect for the environment, and an open heart. The mountains here will change how you see the world and your place in it. This is truly the gateway to the roof of the world, where human ambition meets nature's supreme indifference, and where beauty exists in its most raw and untamed form. Gilgit. Gilgit sits at approximately 4,900 feet elevation in a broad valley at the confluence of the Gilgit River and the Hunza River, both tributaries of the Indus. The city's location is geographically spectacular. This is where the Himalayas, Karakoram, and Hindu Kush mountain ranges converge. Think about that for a moment. Three of the most formidable mountain systems on Earth meeting at one point. Standing in Gilgit, you're surrounded by peaks in every direction. The climate is semi-arid, with hot summers where temperatures can reach 104 degrees F and cold winters with temperatures dropping below freezing, though not as extreme as Skardu. The valley itself receives little precipitation, creating a desert-like environment, but the surrounding mountains are snow-covered for much of the year, feeding glaciers and rivers that bring life to the valley. One of the most significant geographical features near Gilgit is Nanga Parbat, the world's 9th highest mountain at 26,660 feet, visible from many points around the region. Nanga Parbat is called Killer Mountain by climbers due to its extremely high fatality rate, and it dominates the western horizon with its massive presence. Gilgit's history is deeply rooted in its role as a major stop on the ancient Silk Road. For over 2 millennia, this valley served as a crucial junction where traders traveling between China, Central Asia, and the Indian subcontinent would rest, trade goods, and exchange information. The town's strategic location made it valuable to every empire that rose in the region. Buddhism flourished here between the 3rd and 11th centuries CE. Evidence of this period remains in the form of petroglyphs and rock carvings scattered throughout the region, with thousands of Buddhist inscriptions, stupas, and images carved into rocks along ancient paths. The most significant discovery was made in 1931, when a massive trove of ancient Buddhist manuscripts was found hidden in a stupa in Gilgit. After Pakistan's independence in 1947, Gilgit's status was unclear. The area was technically part of the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir, but a rebellion by the Gilgit Scouts, a local military unit, led to Gilgit's accession to Pakistan. This history remains politically sensitive given the ongoing Kashmir dispute between Pakistan and India. What makes Gilgit particularly fascinating is its ethnic and linguistic diversity. Unlike Skardu, which is predominantly Balti, Gilgit is home to multiple ethnic groups including Shina, Burusho, Wakai, Kaur speakers, and others. Each group maintains its own language, traditions, and cultural practices, creating a remarkably diverse society in a relatively small area. The Shina people are the largest ethnic group in Gilgit proper, speaking the Shina language. The cultural practices here show influences from various sources: Central Asian, South Asian, and indigenous mountain traditions blended over centuries. Traditional music includes both religious qawwali and folk songs, often accompanied by the sitar, a stringed instrument, not to be confused with the Indian sitar, and dadang, a square frame drum. Unlike much of Pakistan, women in Gilgit-Baltistan have historically enjoyed greater freedom and participation in economic activities. You'll see women working in fields, managing shops, and participating in public life more visibly than in many other parts of Pakistan. This is partly due to practical necessity. In harsh mountain environments, survival requires everyone's contribution, and partly due to indigenous cultural traditions. The Karakoram highway transformed Gilgit into a commercial hub. Goods flowing between Pakistan and China pass through Gilgit, and the town has developed extensive bazaars, warehouses, and logistics facilities to handle this trade. The main bazaar in Gilgit is a fascinating mix of local handicrafts, imported Chinese goods, and everyday necessities, with traders negotiating in multiple languages. Tourism has become increasingly important, though it faces challenges from occasional security concerns and infrastructure limitations. Gilgit serves as a base for treks into the Karakoram, visits to nearby valleys like Hunza and Nolta, and adventures on the Karakoram highway itself. The town has developed tourism infrastructure, including hotels, tour operators, equipment rental shops, and restaurants catering to international visitors. Gilgit represents something truly special, a place where mountains dominate but don't isolate, where diverse cultures coexist peacefully, and where ancient traditions adapt to modern realities. This city has been a crossroads for millennia, and it continues in that role today, bringing together Pakistani, Chinese, and Western travelers, facilitating trade between nations, and serving as the administrative heart of a vast mountain region. The hospitality here is genuine. The landscapes are stunning, and the sense of living at the junction of multiple worlds, geographical, cultural, and historical, is palpable. Gilgit may not have the extreme altitude of Skardu or the fame of Lahore, but it has something equally valuable: authenticity. This is a real, working mountain town that welcomes visitors but doesn't depend on them, that honors its past while building its future, and that offers travelers a glimpse into what life is truly like in the high mountains of Central Asia. 6 cities, 6 completely different experiences, one incredible country. From the planned perfection of Islamabad to the chaotic energy of Karachi, from the ancient crossroads of Peshawar to the cultural magnificence of Lahore, and from the mountain gateways of Skardu and Gilgit, Pakistan offers diversity that few countries can match. What I hope you've learned today is that Pakistan is so much more than headlines and stereotypes. Yes, it faces challenges, what developing nation doesn't, but it also possesses treasures that rival any destination on Earth. The hospitality you'll encounter in Pakistan is legendary for a reason. The landscapes range from Arabian Sea beaches to some of the world's highest mountains. The history spans thousands of years and dozens of civilizations. The food will become your new obsession. And the people, warm, resilient, funny, proud, and incredibly welcoming, will leave the deepest impression. Now let me ask you this thought-provoking question, and I really want you to engage in the comments. If you could only visit one of these 6 cities, which would it be and why? Are you drawn to the history and culture of Lahore, the mountains of Skardu, the frontier spirit of Peshawar, the organization of Islamabad, the chaos of Karachi, or the diversity of Gilgit? Share your choice and your reasoning, and I'll see you in the next adventure.